Good morning and good news, everyone. The Dallas Cowboys, well, they're keeping Dan Quinn. He is staying as the defensive coordinator. He will not be taking an NFL head coaching job. That news breaking this morning, and it's awesome news for the Dallas Cowboys. If you're like me, you're excited about this development, which is rather surprising in the end. So like the video, which I think every single one of you guys should do if you are hyped about the Cowboys being able to retain Dan Quinn as this team's defensive coordinator. Early on in this head coaching process, when every single team but two requested an interview from Dan Quinn, and Dan Quinn's camp seemed to think he was going to be the Denver Broncos head coach, and the Giants and Bears had heavy interest in hiring Quinn as well. It looked like Quinn was going to be gone. Hell, we gave it 3 stars here on the Cowboys Report because I thought you were going to lose him. There was no more wanted candidate in terms of interviews than Dan Quinn. In the end, he's staying, though, as the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, and that is the best possible outcome as it relates to Quinn and the Cowboys. This is massive news. Being able to retain your stud defensive coordinator who helped your defense go from bottom 5-ish to top 5-ish this season is massive. This is an early offseason win for Dallas, an offseason that I don't know how many overall they'll end up happening in terms of being able to retain various personnel, but I know the players are excited about this. I'm curious why exactly Quinn chose not to take a job. I have some theories on that in just a little bit. But first, I want you guys to chime in for me in the comments section. What is your one-word reaction to keeping Dan Quinn? Awesome, hyped, great, essential, needed. I don't know, there's a lot of one words you guys can use in the comment section, so go do it. If you get the ad break here on YouTube, well, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know your one-word reaction to the Cowboys finding a way to keep Dan Quinn as defensive coordinator. As I mentioned, Quinn was heavily coveted by several teams. Now, my suspicion here is that Quinn only had his eyes on some of the jobs, namely the Denver Broncos job and the Chicago Bears. He was a finalist for both of those, as well as the New York Giants job. He interviewed with Minnesota. I think he interviewed with Miami. Jacksonville requested an interview. I don't think he ever took that interview, though. So I think there's a couple different things at play here. The Broncos, of course, end up hiring Nathaniel Hackett, the Packers offensive coordinator, spiking the continuing the rumors, I should say, of Aaron Rodgers going there. The Bears, meanwhile, hire a name we should be familiar with, former Cowboys defensive assistant Matt Eberflus, who was once supposed to be the next Dan Quinn for Dallas. He was supposed to place Rod Marinelli, but he wanted to be a DC earlier than that. So I wonder, did Quinn not get the job he wanted? He could have had the Jags job. I think he could have had the Dolphins job. I don't think he wanted those jobs, though. I think he likes being in Dallas and was not just going to take the first defensive coordinator job that became, or head coach job that became available. Or I feel pretty good saying Jerry Jones paid up in the end. And I think this will continue the speculation of Mike McCarthy's future beyond this year in Dallas. But the Cowboys know what they have in Dan Quinn. He is the best coach on this staff. So, yeah, I do think Jerry Jones paid up. Maybe he didn't get the Bears job and the Broncos job and said, all right, well, I don't want any of the other ones. I'm going to stick around in Dallas. I do know he thought he was going to get the Broncos job. Maybe he wanted the Bears job instead, missed out and missed the window. I'm not really sure. I don't care. He's back in Dallas, and that's all that matters for Cowboys fans. Today's show is powered by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys125 to get yourself a 125% deposit bonus. And in celebration of Dan Quinn sticking around as the Cowboys defensive coordinator, we're going to hook you guys up with a free Cowboys jersey when you sign up and deposit at least $100 with BetUS. That is right, the jersey deal is back. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys125. When you put down the $100, you'll get the 125% deposit bonus and a Cowboys jersey. Email us jersey@chatsports.com for the details. We've got Dak Prescott Navy, Zeke Elliott Color Rush available at the current moment. We'll need your BetUS account numbers, screenshot of your first bet, your shipping address, size, etc., all that stuff. If you have questions, just email us, jersey@chatsports.com. I will be up front because you guys have all watched the videos. I can't lie to you, not that I would. I did not think Dan Quinn was staying. I thought it was very likely that Quinn was going to be the Denver Broncos head coach or the Bears or hell, maybe even the Giants. I am very glad to be wrong on that front. And in the end, I think there is a decent comparison. I think this reminds me a lot of Kellen Moore last season. Kellen Moore, I thought, was going to take the Boise State job. I thought he was for sure gone. Now, I don't think he gets a head coaching job this time around, but I am very happy to be wrong on this front. For Dan Quinn to stick around, I was very concerned he was going to leave. After all, we can't have nice things as Cowboys fans, but Dan Quinn sticking around is at least a nice thing for Dallas. Now, if you guys want more Cowboys videos beyond just Dan Quinn, hit that big red button and subscribe. Draft coverage will ramp up. Trade rumors. We got live shows on Tuesdays. News, rumors, all of it. This is your one-stop shop for everything on America's team. I'm very happy about Dan Quinn. I think the happiest person might be Micah Parsons right now. Micah loves Dan Quinn. Those two connected instantly. They work so well together. I know Mike is excited, and I'm happy too, because I trust nobody more than Dan Quinn when it comes to properly utilizing Micah Parsons. Micah was not a pass rusher at Penn State, but Dan Quinn and the Cowboys were right. They projected him to be a pass rusher, and he was so much better than even they thought he was going to be. Yes, Parsons gets credit. Of course, Dan Quinn does as well. So how happy are you guys? Scale it for me, 1 to 100. 1 being you're actually in shambles. You think Dan Quinn sucks. Also means you're a crazy person. 100 being you're hyped. You are super excited about keeping Dan Quinn. Let me know in the comments. Truthfully, you guys should be close to 100, or at least at 100, or in the 90s, whatever. Yeah, I know there's other things we're all upset about as relates to the Cowboys coaching staff, but this is only about Dan Quinn. It's okay to be happy about some things when it comes to the Cowboys. I think you should be close to 100. Now, the next step here is what happens along the Cowboys defensive coaching staff. I wonder what will happen with Joe Whitt. He is the Cowboys' current passing game coordinator. He was a prime candidate, probably along with Mike Zimmer, to replace Dan Quinn in the event Quinn became head coach. That does not happen, and Whitt has interest as it relates to being a defensive coordinator. And with several jobs still left to be filled, I think there will be more interview requests coming Whitt's way. Now, the Ravens appear locked in on Mike McDonald, not official yet, so we can probably cross them off the list. I think Pittsburgh is going to go internal promotion with Terrell Austin. That is not a guarantee, though, necessarily. So Pittsburgh's in play. And Seattle, by the way, is definitely one to keep an eye out for, given the ties with Dan Quinn and the Seahawks in the past, the types of schemes Whitt and Quinn, I think, have some interest in running overall. There is some good blend there. New, yet also some old for Seattle. So the Seahawks one is the biggest concern of the current jobs open. But if guys like Brian Dable get hired soon, maybe Nathaniel Hackett wants to interview Joe Whitt, that wasn't the early buzz, we will see. I would love to keep Whitt, but I was not going to keep Whitt over Dan Quinn. So as things sit right now, This is the Cowboys defensive coaching staff. Dan Quinn, of course, remains the defensive coordinator. Joe Whitt is the passing game coordinator. Aiden Dirty, who I wonder might get an interview request or two, maybe not. He is the defensive line coach, a Dan Quinn protege, if we're being honest here. Scott McClurley, who is a Mike McCarthy guy, is the linebackers coach. Al Harris, I think, has done a good job as the defensive backs coach. And I want to keep an eye on George Edwards. He was also an internal candidate for the Cowboys defensive coordinator job if Dan Quinn left. I wonder, will he get interviews? I'm not as concerned about losing Edwards as I am Whitt. And there is, of course, longtime Cowboy Leon Lett as the assistant defensive line coach. So as it relates to Joe Whitt, will the Cowboys keep him as well? Joe Whitt Jr., of course. Why for yes and for no? Let me know in the comments section. And while we're on the topic of coaches, I just wanted to mention briefly here Mike McCarthy. I think he's firmly on the hot seat. I don't think the Sean Payton stuff happens this year, but next year, that's going to be a constant storyline. Now you got Dan Quinn still lurking as a potential internal hire or midseason replacement. The Cowboys like Dan Quinn. I think it was Steven who said they were going to look at Dan Quinn as a head coach candidate. The Falcons had fired him. They did not, though, in the end. So I think the staff is mostly going to be the same this upcoming year for the Cowboys. I hope McCarthy and Kellen Moore do a lot better, but I'm very pleased that the defensive side is rolling it back the way it was from 2021 because they exceeded everybody's expectations, even the Cowboys and I think their own, in terms of the coach's own expectations. If you haven't already, folks, hit that big red button and subscribe for free Cowboys videos every single day right here on the Cowboys Report.